And strike one to McGarry from Hunter Morgan, still on the mound for Wingate. Cameron Busby on the mound for Belmont Abbey. And now we'd like to welcome you to the NCAA Southeast Regional here, hosted by North Greenville University. Do not adjust your sets. We are in the bottom of the fifth as we have been working through quite the technical bug for the past few innings, and already we've got a run down here, and runner is out at second. That is Beinlich getting caught in the pickoff, and he is done for the inning, and that will also retire the side for Belmont Abbey.
Yeah, just a failed pickoff move. Ball trickled not very far past first, but trying to take second, throw just beats him out. That'll end the inning.
And we remain tied up at one apiece. Belmont Abbey has scored their only run of the game back in the second inning from a solo shot over the right field fence from Thomas Yoder. Wingate was able to score with a pair of singles as they scored Branton. And that was Brett Branton who scored the only run of the game for Wingate. And we stayed tied up at one ever since the third inning. So no runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on after the pickoff for Belmont Abbey. We head to the top of the sixth. Due up for the Bulldogs of Wingate, it'll be Andrus, Mellett, and Schneider. Again, Ty Andrus. We'll go over the batting order again as just getting on the air after working out the technical. But Ty Andrus bats leadoff for Wingate. McCann Mellett, second baseman, second. Third baseman Tyler Schneider bats third. Batting fourth will be the DH, Bradley Brown. Catcher Micah Goodwin bats fifth. Right fielder Trent Wynn bats sixth. First baseman Zach Little bats seventh. Left fielder Jed Bryant batting eighth. Brett Branton batting ninth. For Belmont Abbey, Cameron Busby has been on the mound and stayed on the mound since we got underway shortly after 11 a.m. First of three games today, part of the Southeast Regional. As Busby's numbers, he comes in today with a 3.49 ERA, 2 wins, 1 loss. This is his fifth start for Belmont Abbey as he fires strike one into Andrus, who is 1 for 2 today. Singled his last time up in the third. And now the count moves to 1-1. The rest on Busby through 28 and a third. He's given up 30 hits, 17 runs, 11 of those earned. He's walked 6, struck out 31, and coming into today, he's allowed 8 extra base hits, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, and that now up to 3. Or no, he's allowed extra base hits. That home run, the only one to leave today came from his teammate Yoder. So 8 extra base hits allowed for Busby, and opponents batting .261 against him. Hit over to short, or third, and throw to first. In time to retire Andrus for the inning. 1 away. And now first pitch into McCann Mellett, second base today for Belmont Abbey. He'll take ball 1. And checked his swing, held off of it, and good thing he did. A favorable count here, and that'll be a 4-pitch walk. Missed ball 3 somewhere in there, but nonetheless, a 4-pitch walk there from Busby to Mellett. Well, put him on the base pass for the second time today as he came up to bat 1 for 2 today. He also singled back in the third. And this next up will be Schneider for Wingate, as it's hit high and deep to straightaway center and over the glove of the center fielder. Extra bases here for Wingate and a chance to even score and take the lead. And the runner getting waved around third. He'll head for home, and Wingate takes the lead.
But it looks like they're going to bring him back. Center fielder was, and they're going to bring him back to third. Center fielder was up in the fence, bounced over for a ground rule double. So by rule, runner at first goes to third.
Still best inning here for Wingate since the third. They have 2 aboard and only 1 out. Tyler Schneider coming through for the Bulldogs. And next man up will be Bradley Brown, the DH. He's 0 for 2 today with a pair of flyouts. And looks like they are giving him the intentional walk.
Yeah, and unlike the major leagues just implemented a rule where the manager can just point and just give him a base, but the traditional way have to throw 4 pitches to the catcher to walk your man aboard.
Now 1 more needed from Busby, and that is ball 4.
That's bases loaded with only 1 out.
Oh, so Belmont Abbey trying to set up the double play here with Micah Goodwin, who is 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to third and a struck out swinging his last time up in the 4th.
You can play your, just zoom out.
And Goodwin coming into today, batting .229.
You don't have to be that.
22nd start today.
And whenever it's flying out towards us.
And 19 hits there for Goodwin, only 14 RBIs. And he'll watch ball 1 go by.
I would rather you play it wider out, and we get.
One 0. Swing and a miss. Missed it downstairs. 1-1. Boy, Busby has been peppering that low side of the zone. He's been trying to go low and away for a good portion of this game, and he hasn't really been getting the calls. But as this game's worn on, that strike zone has started to expand.
And the game's wearing on, the strike zone is expanding, but also as that one catches the zone low, as the game wears on, the more likely batters are going to be swinging for things as tight as this game's been the entire way through.
And both starters are still out there. Nobody's been pulled yet.
And with this many games over the course of this next 5 days, you're going to want this management for any of these teams are going to want the best they can out of their starting pitching. If they can help it, they're not going to pull them through at least 6, 7 innings.
Yeah, you got to keep the bullpen as fresh as you can, as there's ball 3. And so now that intentional walk looming really big for Belmont Abbey. Bases loaded, full count here to Goodwin. Nowhere to put him.
And now Yoder with a chance. Really can't, if you're on Busby's side, he really can't just pepper the corners. He has to go right down the heart of the plate and just hope that Yoder misses.
Well, it's decision time, and he missed it. Strike 3. Goodwin goes down on strikes. Second time he's done that this game, and a big out there for Busby. Now they only need 1 force out, and they've got to deal with Trent Wynn, who is 1 for 2 today, singled back in the second, struck out swinging his last time up in the 4th. We can get the 6th seed here in the Southeast Regional out of the South Atlantic as he fouls a pitch off the catcher.
Now that little scare right there, full count with the bases loaded. Now after the strikeout, force out at any base. Keep this on the ground or get him out at the plate, and Belmont's out of this unscathed.
Busby gets set, throw the plate, and a high chopper off the pitcher's mound into center field. One's going to score for Wingate. Here comes 2. Throw is high back to the catcher, not in time. And the Bulldogs plate 2 off the single from Wynn. They take the lead, 3-1.
And all of a sudden, and it's typically in bigger games with a lot on the line, it's the later innings and just seeing what you can do in little situations. Zach Little right there gets one through the hole, plates 2, and now the 6th seed up by 2 on the 3.
And now here is Zach Little. Still runners on first and second. And that is ball 1 from Busby. Little today, 0 for 2, has flown out to left, grounded out to short. And Wingate snapping up one of those at-large bids for the Southeast region to get here. As there's ball 2. Mentioned Wingate out of the South Atlantic. And their home campus is just outside southeast of Charlotte, if you're unfamiliar with the area. There's a strike. Busby finally gets one in the zone. And the Bulldogs finishing second in the South Atlantic and coming in with a 34-17 overall record. And fouled away down the first base side. That'll put strike 2 against Little, 2-2 count with 2 outs. And of course, we're all too familiar with Belmont Abbey. They're out of the Conference Carolinas. North Greenville, the host seed, the number 1 seed, the host team here for the Southeast region. Had to beat them. And had to take the series from them in the regular season. They did that 2-1. And then, again, the conference tournament, as this one's hit the straightaway center, hanging up there for Beinlich. And that is the side retired. But Wingate does the damage, as that is 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on for the Bulldogs. They take the lead, though, 3-1 over the 3-seeded Belmont Abbey Crusaders. Now Belmont Abbey will have the chance to respond in the bottom of the 6th. Leading off will be Colin Rosenbaum, the shortstop. Luke Curiton and Thomas Yoder, that's the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, due up for Belmont Abbey as they find themselves trailing to Wingate here 3-1. We come back for the Southeast Regional here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Colin Rosenbaum set the lead off the bottom of the 6th for Belmont Abbey. Kiraton and Yoder also due up. Rosenbaum 0 for 2 today is struck out swinging and grounded out to short. He'll take strike 1 from Wingate, and that is Hunter Morgan on the mound for the Bulldogs. And now ball 1. Morgan for Wingate comes in. Check his numbers real quick. A 4.88 ERA for him. 6 wins, 3 losses. Check swing there from Rosenbaum. He'll hang off of it, take ball 2.
And well advised. Morgan dropped him a sinker, but fell a little too close to the plate, enough for Goodwin to get away with that.
And he'll foul the next one he sees away. That'll push him to 2-2. And Rosenbaum's second best batting average on the team for Belmont Abbey, 405. And he'll swing it a low one in the zone. 2 hopper over to third. That is fair. Long throw to first. Stretching out for it and getting the out is Zach Little. 1 away.
Nice play. And that's exactly what Wingate really needs at this point in time. Managed to plate 2 runs in the top of the inning. Got to place some good defense. Put Belmont Abbey on the back foot.
And that third base, that's been a busy corner today here at Ray and B. Dillard Field. As here is Luke Kiraton up. And he'll take strike 1. Kiraton 0 for 2 today. He's flown out to right and grounded out to short. Belmont Abbey also picking up one of the 4 at-large bids to get in here to the Southeast Regional. As that one skips away from the catcher, ball 1 to Kiraton. Belmont Abbey, very familiar with them. Conference Carolinas member, 37-12 overall record. Finishing 3rd in the conference standings behind North Greenville, who won both the regular season title and the tournament title up in North Carolina, Burlington, North Carolina. But finishing behind North Greenville and Mount Olive. As this one will take a high hop into left field. That's a base hit for Kiraton, his first of the day. So 1 aboard, 1 away here for Belmont Abbey in the bottom of the 6th. This is Thomas Yoder. So far, the lone run up on the scoreboard for Belmont Abbey. Homered back in the 2nd. And then out on a drop third strike back in the 4th. Yoder batting .310 on the season for Belmont Abbey. And he'll watch ball 1 go by.
Both starters starting to get up in the pitch count. 74 here for Morgan, 87 on the other end. But as we've already hit on, these teams trying to preserve bullpens over this next 5 days. So
check swing up high. And no appeal, so that will be ball 2. Do believe there is at least one warming in the Wingate bullpen. Don't see anybody up for Belmont Abbey, though. They have the left field bullpen. And driven to right field. And that one gets down. Extra bases here for Belmont Abbey. And it will be a stand-up double for Yoder as Kiraton goes from 1st to 3rd on that relay. And Belmont Abbey right back in business here in the bottom of the 6th with 1 out.
And that's exactly what the Crusaders out of Belmont need to do at this point. You're down 2 runs in a tight game to the 6th seed in this regional. Have to do something offensively. And now sitting here 2 in scoring position. No outs.
Next up will be Josh
1 out.
Gintha, who has grounded out to first, and his one time on the base pass today, he's been hit by a pitch.
It looks like we're going to get a visit up to the mound.
And this is something we haven't seen today. First mound visit.
So whenever they're flying balls out this way, don't worry. Like, I don't care if the runner's in the shot at that point, because if the ball's not where he is, it doesn't even matter. So if they're flying out to any of these guys, whether or not, just get.
And the winner of this game will advance on to take on the winner of the game coming up next between Georgia College and Lincoln Memorial. Both of those teams winning their conferences respectively. Georgia College sweeping the Peach Belt, and Lincoln Memorial getting a bit of an upset in the South Atlantic. So here in the Southeast, we've got 2 Conference Carolinas teams, and I believe that's 1, 2, 3 South Atlantic with UNC Pembroke, Lincoln Memorial, Wingate, and then Georgia College out of the Peach Belt. Or 2 out of the Peach Belt. I think Columbus State's in there as well. So here's Gintha.
Just barely keeps that one in front of the plate.
Yeah, catcher Micah Goodwin back there trying to jump over in front of that one. Jeff Gregory for Wingate trying to keep his 2-run lead. And ball 2 again missing low and inside to the lefty, Gintha.
Yeah, and after the pitching coaches have come out and had a conversation, that's the last thing you want to see. 2 down in the dirt that your catcher is having to stop.
Now Morgan's got to fire one in here, 2-0 count, and does just that.
Yeah, just takes a little time, regains his composure.
Now the 2-1. 2-hopper over to first, covered well by Wingate, but a run will score for Belmont Abbey. That's 2 away as Curiton comes in to score. It's 3-2.
And that's just picking your poison at that point. You get the easy out at first. You're standing right there. You concede the run, but you have 2 outs. And now Wingate having to deal with Belmont Abbey, having still 1 more runner in scoring position, sitting at third, 90 feet away, tying the game.
And the last chance for the inning for Belmont Abbey will be Kevin Elefante. There's this 1 for 2 today. And a foul down the first base side. Took a big rip at it, though. Put him behind 0-1. And he'll send one through the gap into right field. Belmont Abbey will tie it up. And Elefante holds up at first. And once again, we're tied up here at 3. 2-run scoring here for Belmont Abbey in the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-all.
Yeah, and Crusaders out of Belmont Abbey showing why they earned that 3-seed nod. You're down 2 runs in a very tight regional. Honestly, a lot of these teams coming in, and the NCAA's touted this is arguably one of the toughest regionals with 3 teams boasting top 25 rankings.
Yeah, quite a few ranked up there in the top 25. Of course, North Greenville, number 1 overall as the final regular season poll coming out just before regionals get underway. As Rowley lifts one deep to left, but not deep enough. And Wingate finally ends the inning. Ty Anders Ty Anders out there in center, or Andrus out there in center, finally retiring the side for Belmont Abbey, but the damage is done as they tie it up at 3. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on for Belmont Abbey. As we head to the top of the 7th, due up for the Bulldogs, we'll have 8, 9, and 1. That's Jed Bryant, Brent Bratton, and back to the top of the order for Ty Andrus. When we come back here, tied up at 3 here in Game 1 of 3 today in the NCAA Southeast Regional, hosted by North Greenville University here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Back here for the top of the 7th. Game 1 of the NCAA Southeast Regional, and we are back underway as Jed Bryant due up here for Wingate. And a 1-1 count from Cameron Busby. Busby not afraid to work quickly.
And still finding the zone late. Really high up into his pitch counts. That one is 90th of the game.
Yeah, this is going to be a game we're going to see how long can the starters go.
And arguably both have done very well outside of the 6th inning. And even then, it was some strategy calls, some well-placed balls in the infield from both teams that led to that anyway.
Now there, the slider sliding too much, missing outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count to the leadoff man Bryant this inning. And he'll send a high chopper just foul of third.
And only just.
And something else, most people might not make a big deal of this, but something else that we have here as part of this regional, 4 umpires. Of course, you have the home plate umpire and then 1 for every base.
And typically, collegiate baseball runs 2 or 3 on a typical day, as we got a big swing and a miss right there.
Yeah, Buzz be able to fan one by him there. That'll sit Bryant down for the inning as he was 0 for 1 coming up. Reached on an error today, flew out to center. His last time up in the 5th. And let's see, that is 1, 2. That was the 4th strikeout for Busby. And right back down to business. Strike 1 into the shortstop, Brett Branton.
And Gray, you mentioned the 4 umpire. The 4 umpire crew here, that one's a little outside. Already earlier in the game, managing to overturn a call made by the first base umpire.
High fly ball deep to left, but it's going to hang up and be caught by Curiton out in left 2 away. Yeah, we already had a huddle up back, I believe it was in the 2nd or 3rd inning, over a very close play over at first, and had the huddle up for about 5 minutes. Call was reversed.
You know, I can say in my time, I don't think I've ever seen a call reversed.
Yeah, it's not something that comes up very often. As we're back to the top of the order, Ty Andrus takes ball 1. Andrus 1 for 3 today. Lone hit coming back in the 3rd. And a 1 hopper right to 3rd. Throw to 1st is in time. Side is retired. for Wingate through the top of the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on for Wingate to the top half of the 7th. Time to stretch for the first time here in this regional at Ray and B. Dillard Field. Tied up at 3 in Game 1 between Wingate and Belmont Abbey. We'll bring you the bottom of the 7th when we come back here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Back here for the bottom of the 7th, due up for Belmont Abbey. We'll have 9-1 and 2. A.J. Hendricks, Matt McGarry, and Nick Beinlich due up for Belmont Abbey. Try and break this deadlock as we transition to the last third of this game. And a first pitch swing there from Hendricks, foul of first base. Let's see, Hendricks today is 0 for 2, is grounded out to second and then to short. Hunter Morgan still on the mound for Wingate, fires again, and strike 2.
And Morgan, the benefactor of some mistakes on the Belmont Abbey side, still a little ahead in the pitch count, has 14 pitches on Belmont starter and Busby.
And the 0-2 coming up to Hendricks. Upstairs, ball 1. And Matt McGarry waiting on deck. He is 0 for 3 for Belmont Abbey. A 1-2, low and inside, fouled away. And Hendricks defending that one, just does catch a piece of it. We'll try again here on the 1-2. High in the zone, popped up to shallow left. Center fielder will come over for it and make the grab, and that is one away for Belmont Abbey. Ty Andrus again coming over to cover the play. So we're back to the top of the order for Belmont Abbey. This will be Matt McGarry. Mentioned he was 0 for 3, pair of ground outs and a flyout for him today.
And it's just, at this point in the game, it's going to take just somebody's going to have to step up. You're deadlocked 7 innings down.
Ball 1 low and inside, and if you do lose this first game, it's not necessarily over for you. This is a double elimination tournament, but
you do make your path a lot harder.
Yeah, it's you have to play 3 straight days instead of 2 just to reach that championship game, as there's ball 2 high and inside.
And then coming out of the loser's bracket, if you're so lucky as to make it to the championship game or games, you have to win the first one and win the second one.
That's sweep a doubleheader on Monday. And there's a strike. That makes a count 2-1. And again, that's a luxury if you win. If you're like North Greenville #1 seed, you win Friday, you win Saturday, you get Sunday off.
And North Greenville themselves lucky enough in this 7-team this 7-team bracket here getting a bye to the second day. So the other 6 teams, seeds 2 through 7, all have to play today. North Greenville doesn't even have to play until Game 5, the 3 o'clock game tomorrow.
An opportunity to sit back and watch a competition. There's ball 3 missing downstairs after strike 2, so a full count to McGarry. It's like only 1 walk today issued by Morgan. And swung on, high fly ball over to left, and it will not stay fair.
Just missed it. No, not quite like the pesky pole in Boston, but still pesky nonetheless.
Still full count to McGarry. The offering, and another liner foul. Looks like Georgia College already sending some folks down the third base side. I believe they're the ones that wear the green. They'll be coming up next. They take on the 7 seed Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters. That'll be the 2 seed in Georgia College and the 7 seed with Lincoln Memorial. And high in the zone, and is that one fair? Yes, it is.
Just barely so. Going to be a play at second, but stand-up double for Matt McGarry.
Good shot there from McGarry. Took a couple of pitches high in the zone, and that will be his first hit of the day. We'll put him in scoring position with 1 out and turn things over to the center fielder, Nick Beinlicht, who is walked today, struck out swinging, and he singled his last time up back in the 5th. Let's see what Beinlicht has. Looks like we're going to have a mound visit again for Wingate.
And this might be the end of the road for Hunter Morgan. And already signaling for the right-hander.
So our first call to the bullpen today as Hunter Morgan's day is done here in the bottom of the 7th. They will bring a new man out. And it is a pair of 2s, number 22 for the Bulldogs. This will be Alex Rodriguez, a right-handed sophomore from Kannapolis, North Carolina, out of Northwest Cabarrus. And he will take over from the starter Morgan, who will finish with 6 1/3 innings pitched, allowed 8 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of those earned, and be responsible for the runner on second. Walked 1, struck out 4, hit a batter, allowed 3 doubles, that home run shot to Yoder, and he will finish with 96 pitches thrown. That will be it for Morgan. Rodriguez will come in with a 2.33 ERA, 6 wins, no losses. This will be his 19th appearance through 27 innings. He's allowed 19 hits, 9 runs, 7 of those earned, walked 14, and struck out 42.
This is the point in the game. Middle relief in the bullpen is going to be a huge deal. Because whether or not Belmont Abbey wants to acknowledge it or not, their starter, Cameron Busby, 99 pitches through 6 innings. If they want to throw him out for the 7th, they can, but you're closing in on where it's almost detrimental to keep the starters out there.
I mean, I hate to bring this up, especially with the regional, and we have multiple games today. We saw a closer for Mount Olive go 142 when North Greenville had that 16-inning affair against the Trojans.
And that was a unique situation. The first game of a 3-game set, didn't really want to use the bullpen, and then ended up pitching essentially a game and a third's worth of pitches in relief.
Also a nightmare. It's called a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
I didn't want to call it that.
So our first pitching change of the day. As Rodriguez comes in, he'll have to face at least Beinlicht and Rosenbaum, those two up next. Runner on second here for Belmont Abbey. In the bottom of the 7th, tied up at 3. Belmont Abbey, the designated home team, per virtue of being the higher seed. And we were talking about this earlier. Once we get to the losers bracket of things, we believe it will go down to who has the better record once we reach that part.
But, we'll find out on game day. It'll be fine. It won't be wrong.
That's normally how it goes anyway. And Rodriguez will step off the mound. Won't even throw a pitch just yet.
Just trying to keep McGarry at bay. A pitching change. Opportunity to really catch someone sleeping, especially from second base.
And first pitch to the plate. Breaking ball breaks in. Strike 1 to Beinlicht. Beinlicht 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position, so pretty decent there for him. Here's the 0-1. Big rip and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, Rodriguez just fooling him with an off speed. Swung right over the top.
And McGarry on the season, 9 for 10 on stolen bases, but he's kind of not sure if they'll send him to third. Pitch to the plate, high in the zone, a looper into left center field.
McGarry around third.
Hey, he's heading for home. He makes a break for it to the plate. He's safe. Belmont Abbey will take the lead on the RBI single there from Beinlicht. Boy, McGarry got the jump. He easily beat the throw. And right now, that is the difference. 9 hits for Belmont Abbey, showing 4 runs. They have the lead. And it's not over yet. Rosenbaum, the next man up. He's 0 for 3 today. Pair of groundouts and a strikeout. And first pitch to the plate. Up high in the zone. Ball 1 to Rosenbaum. I mentioned his second best batting average on the team for Belmont Abbey. Struggling for hits today. Takes a strike there.
And that one's low. Catching just the bottom corner of the zone.
Count 1-1 to Rosenbaum. Belmont Abbey with the lead, 4-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Rodriguez draws set and throw to first. Back in time. That's Beinlicht over there.
And Rodriguez just trying to take some command and control in the game. Already gave up the go-ahead run, trying to stop the damage there.
And Beinlicht's 8 for 10 on stolen bases through the season. That was ball 2 missing way outside. A 2-1 count to Rosenbaum. Now Rodriguez will slow the pace down, throw to the plate. And Rosenbaum lifts one to deep center, going back as a center fielder. And getting back there in time is Andrus. Almost made it to the warning track as Rosenbaum is retired. That'll drop him to 0 for 4 today, 2 away. And Luke Kirton becomes the last hope for the inning for Belmont Abbey with a runner on first, 2 away here. Kirton 1 for 3 today, singled his last time up. Back in the 6th, came around to score. Part of that 2-run inning for Belmont Abbey, back in the 6th. See what he can do here with Beinlicht on first. Breaking ball breaks in again for Rodriguez. Strike one.
Just a nice looking pitch right there. It looked like it was just going to sail right in the face of Luke Cureton, but just drops right in the zone.
And Cureton batting .351 on the season for Belmont Abbey. And strike two. Wow, Rodriguez now all of a sudden starts firing away.
And not really trying to force a ground ball for a double play, just trying to get the out at the plate, and it'll end the inning.
Now that was all heat. He's ahead in the count, 0-2. The 0-2.
Just outside.
That one did just miss. It froze him, and he was looking at it. Ball one. So Cureton at least lives to see another one. And a thrower to first, Beinlicht back in time. On the schedule, have 13 total games here. That last one, the 13th, is an if necessary game on Monday afternoon. So looking at 12 to 13 games here through the weekend in Tigerville. As a two-hopper right to short. Throw will go to first and in time. Side is retired for Belmont Abbey. But the Crusaders, again, able to get a little bit of revenge on Wingate as they score what is the go-ahead run right now. One run on 2 hits. No errors. 1 left on. We'll head to the top of the 8th. Wingate now trails Belmont Abbey here 4-3. Do it for the Bulldogs will be 2, 3, and 4. That'll be Mellett, Schneider, and Brown when we come back here on the North Greenville Sports Network. McCann Mellett leads off the top of the 8th here for Wingate. They trail Belmont Abbey 4-3. Here in Game 1 of the Southeast Regional, hosted by North Greenville University, who locked up the 1 seed Sunday night. Ball 1 issued to Mellett.
Already seeing a pretty ridiculous pitching performance.
And trying to shoot the gap into right. That one will do so. Mellett to first will stop there as the throw comes back in. So the leadoff man aboard for Wingate here in the top of the 8th. That'll give Mellett his 2nd hit of the game. He'll improve to 2 for 3 as he walked back in the 6th, came around to score a run for the Bulldogs. So Mellett 2 for 3 today as we'll move down the order to the 3rd baseman Tyler Schneider, who is 1 for 2 today. Doubled his last time up.
And now's about the point Belmont Abbey is going to start having to really consider thinking about the bullpen. 102 pitches out of the starter in Cameron Busby and really struggling to find the zone at the moment.
Yeah, Busby picking up over the century mark and firing 2 straight balls to Schneider. The 2-0. Right down the middle, strike one to Schneider. Schneider for the Bulldogs. Batting .333 for him. And low and away, again smothered by the catcher. Thomas Yoder having to jump on top of that one.
Yeah, and just for a brief moment, Mellett thought that got past Yoder, was about to take second. Luckily realized it just dribbled right in front of the plate and stayed put.
3-1 on the way. And a liner foul a third. That'll fill it up. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Schneider. And a 2-hopper deep to short. Throw on the run is not in time. Schneider beats the throw. That'll put 2 on for Wingate. Nobody out. And that will be scored as a hit for Schneider. His second of the day. That'll put runners on first and second for the DH for the Bulldogs, Bradley Brown. And here comes a mound visit for Belmont Abbey. No motion to the bullpen. They are looking that way, and yes, this is a call to the bullpen for Belmont Abbey. Here comes a reliever out. So Busby's day is done after allowing back-to-back singles to the Bulldogs, and he will hand over to his reliever. This is number 23 for Belmont Abbey. So we'll check on that. And bring you back for more action here in the top of the 8th as Wingate in business with 2 on. And welcome back. North Greenville Sports Network. Cameron Busby's day is done. And this will be number 23, Brady Hill, a right-handed senior out of Winterville, North Carolina, by way of South Central. Busby will finish the day. 7 innings pitched. Gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, all 3 of those earned. And he's responsible for the 2 runners that are on. Has walked 2 batters, struck out 4. Allowed 1 double to Wingate. And he will finish the day with 107 pitches thrown. So now we'll move over to his numbers. He'll come in with a 2.45 ERA, 1 win, no losses. This will be his 10th appearance through 7 1/3 innings thrown. He's allowed 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned. Walked 10, struck out 24, allowed 3 extra base hits, and opponents batting a whopping 148 against him. He has the second best opponent batting average, only behind Alex Nodars for the Belmont Abbey bullpen. So let's see what Hill can do if he can keep the lead 1 for Belmont Abbey. Not much room for error here. He's got to get 3 outs, and he has 2 on. So both starters now officially done for the day here in game 1. We get ready to see what the bullpens are packing. First pitch into the DH, Brown, is strike 1.
And Brown 0 for 2. Has walked in the game.
Now that was the intentional walk back in the 6th. 0-1. Checked the swing, and he went around. That's strike 2.
Bit of a late call on it, but pretty definitive. No one really arguing it.
Now the 0-2. High and outside, ball 1. Long stare down from Hill to Yoder. And nothing comes of it. Now Hill draws set. And fires strike 3 right down the middle.
And no question, Bradley Brown just turned a little disgusted in himself and just started walking back towards the dugout.
Well, Hill's first batter faced, a good one, a strikeout recorded, 1 away against the Bulldogs. Next up will be Micah Goodwin. Was 0 for 3 today. Started off his day by grounding out to third, and then a pair of strikeouts to follow. And
now with a bait, third base is open at the moment, so Goodwin maybe 0 for 3 on the day, but still opportunity elsewhere.
Infield meeting here around Hill. And it looks like they're going to bullpen again.
Going for the matchup, playing for the matchups out of the bullpen, and then by proxy, resting relievers who are only throwing 2, 3, 4 pitches.
And so 1 batter faced, 1 out for Brady Hill. His day is done. And next up will be number 24. This will be Parker Macphail, the right-handed junior from Sarasota, Florida, out of Cardinal Mooney down there. And so he will take over from Hill. Well, let's check the numbers on Macphail real quick. He'll come in with a 1.69 ERA, 1 win, no losses. This will be his 11th appearance. Has started 1 game, though. And through 16 innings, he's allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned. Walked 10, struck out 24. And I'm sorry, I was reading the wrong column last time. Brady Hill has a 2.22 opponent's batting average. Macphail has that 148 I read out earlier that I gave to Hill, but that was actually Macphail's number. So he has the second best opponent's batting average. And so this should be a good matchup. See what Macphail can do here against Goodwin, and he'll at least have to. Well, no, he wouldn't have to deal with Trent Wynn. Belmont Abbey could try and turn a double play, so he at least has to deal with Goodwin at least as a minimum. Two on for Wingate here in the top of the 8th. And it looks like we're ready to fire back up. Goodwin steps in. 0 for 3 today to go up against Macphail. First pitch in. Low and away, ball 1. Throw to the plate, high in the zone, into left field. See if this is deep enough to score a run. No, it won't be as the throw comes back in. But that will put Goodwin aboard with a shot to left. And that gets them loaded for Wingate here in the top of the 8th. 1 out against the Bulldogs, and this will turn things over to Trent Wynn, who was 2 for 3, a pair of singles and a strikeout today. And the 6th seeded team in the Southeast region a chance to make a lot of noise here in the top of the 8th. Swings at the first pitch, lifts it high and deep to left. This one should be deep enough to score a run as Mellett tags from third. He'll go to the plate, throw off target, and Wingate has tied it up at 4 off the sacrifice fly.
And that's all it ever really takes. And all of a sudden, 3 pitches from the second reliever of the inning. We're back knotted at 4.
Schneider at second, Goodwin at first. The inning not over yet for Wingate. 2 away, though, against them. As this will be Zach Little next up, and here comes another coach out from the Belmont Abbey dugout.
And are they going to play again, or is this just for a conversation? No signal yet, and judging by the fact the infield hasn't huddled around, this is more than likely just a conversation on how to deal with the batter at hand.
Little today, he is 0 for 3. Flown out the left in the second, grounded out to short in the 5th, and flew out to straightaway center in the 6th. So 2 away here for Wingate. And the first pitch swing fouled away by a little. Strike 1. And the 0-1. Fouled away again. First base side. And that one just out of play. 0-2. Now here's a chance to get out of it for Belmont Abbey without giving up without breaking the tie. 0-2. Popped up first base side. Is this one playable? No, it's not. 3 pitches, all 3 fouled away by Little.
Whatever it takes, Little keep fighting. Been late on every single one. Just swings a little sooner. These pitches really haven't differed in location. All have fouled out to the exact same spot.
Righty digs back in. Macphail fires. Strike 3. Got him to chase it. Side is retired. Wingate able to get up back to Belmont Abbey's level, but unable to jump ahead. 1 run on 3 hits. No errors. And 2 runners left on for the Bulldogs here to the top of the 8th. Tied up at 4 between the 3 seed and the 6 seed here in the Southeast region. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Due up for Belmont Abbey will be Yoder, Gintha, and Elefante when we come back here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Back here for the bottom of the 8th. And we got a good one to start off the Southeast Regional. Here as the 7 other regionals also underway. So plenty of baseball around Division II to be had. As right here in the Southeast, Belmont, Abbey, and Wingate tied up at 4 apiece. And Thomas Yoder lead things off for Belmont Abbey, and he'll line the first pitch he sees into left and caught on the run. Great grab.
And what a play right there in left by Jed Bryant. Almost impossible angle and just ends up right at the fence. 1 pitch, 1 out.
And they needed to get Yoder out as he was 2 for 3 coming up. He is homered today and with a ground rule double and coming around the score both times. So that is a big out for Wingate here. As next up will be the third baseman, Gintha, who has been hit by a pitch today and grounded out both times to first. Behind here, 0-1 to Alex Rodriguez returning back to the mound for the Bulldogs. And that one missing. That's ball 1.
Looked good, but location just not quite there.
Here comes a 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Two-one offering, lined into right. That'll drop for a base hit. This one might roll all the way to the fence. It will. Around first goes Gintha, and he'll pull up at second with a stand-up double. Well, if this is a time for Belmont Abbey to score a run, it sure is. Bottom of the 8th. Game could be over in an inning.
And late inning heroics are what it's going to come down to. Real tight through the first 5 innings, 1-1. Belmont Abbey went up 1-0 in the second. Wingate, top of the third, immediately got it back. Then took a 2-run lead in the 6th, only for it to come right back at them in the bottom of the inning. Belmont tacked on 1 in the bottom of the 7th. Wingate tied it up just at the top of this inning. So, been a back-and-forth punch-for-punch kind of contest the entire day.
Here's Kevin Elefante. He'll take ball 1. Elefante, 2 for 3 today. Struck out looking his first time up. Since then, he has gone perfect. A pair of singles, 1 in the 4th and 1 in the 6th. Runner on second here with 1 out. Swings at this one, lines into left. Is it deep enough? Is it fair? No, it's not.
Easily could have been ground rule if it was just a couple inches to the right.
This artificial turf here at Ray and B. Dillard Field, it has certainly provided an extra bounce. And
figuratively and literally. And just it's been interesting to watch all season long. Teams that come in don't play. This is the first artificial turf field in this state in South Carolina. So a lot of these teams that come in to play don't normally see anything like this. It's pretty unique, not only for this area, but in general. That one's whacked.
Lined into right, backing up and making the grab. Tagging from second, going over to third is Gintha as Elefante at least moves the runner over on the fly out. That'll put 2 away, but a runner in scoring position for the first baseman, Jacob Rowley.
And just to finish the thought, turf has that. You're bouncing on. It's rubber pellets. You're bouncing off rubber. So teams that are normally used to a bounce off soft grass, a lot of times these outfielders have a hard time judging exactly how the bounce is going to go, and that's how a lot of ground rules are really starting to hit out here.
First pitch swing, fouled up the first base side, and into the hillside. Strike 1. Rowley batting .267 on the season for Belmont Abbey. 14 RBIs, runner in scoring position here at third with Gintha. The 0-1. High in the zone, a two-hopper right to short. Throw to first, and plenty of time. Side is retired for Belmont Abbey here in the bottom of the eighth. They leave a go-ahead run stranded 90 feet away. No runs on one hit, no errors, and a man stranded for Belmont Abbey. We'll head to the top of the ninth. Wingate, last chance to take the lead here in regulation, and they will have the 8, 9, and 1 spot hitters. Jed Bryant, Brett Bratton, and Ty Andrus due up for the Bulldogs. Tied up at 4 here in the Southeast Regional on the North Greenville Sports Network. Top of the ninth, last inning of regulation. Otherwise, we're going to need extras to decide game one here of the Southeast region as Jed Bryant due up for Wingate. And they'll foul the first pitch he sees off for strike one. Bryant 0 for 2, reached on an error back in the third, flew out the center in the fifth, struck out swinging in the seventh. Hangs off ball one as that one goes down to the turf. And catching the inside corner, strike two.
And now the question is, Gray, who's going to be the hero? Who's going to end up late inning heroics to start off this regional?
Ball two, low and away. We've already had one home run here in game one. It may come down to that. All you need's one. And high in the zone again, a two-hopper. Boy, that one took a weird hop off the turf. Throw to first.
Just in time.
And one's away. That'll retire Bryant for the inning and turn things over to the shortstop, Brett Branton, who has reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run today. After that, he's flown out twice, both times to Curiton over and left. And a home run swing there, but missed it way low in the zone, strike one.
And the thing is, neither team really in an ideal situation in their batting order.
And check swing, a little pop-up off the infield and right to second base where McGarry covers it, two away.
Yeah, didn't really mean to do that one, just managed to make contact and it came down in fair ground. But just to finish up what I was about to say, really not a good situation for a good part of the order for either team. 9-1-2 for both coming up.
Two away for Wingate. This will turn things over to Ty Andrus at the top of the order. Andrus 1 for 4 and takes ball one.
Or I apologize, 8-9-1 and 9-1-2.
867-5309.
Jenny.
And another little check swing and swung over the top of it. Strike one. One. Another big rip and a miss. Strike two. And Wingate's swinging aggressively, and Belmont Abbey knows that, and Macphail is just tagging the low side, and they're getting the chase.
And you already hit on it, Greg. With home run balls, all you really need.
Ooh, no call outside. That's ball two.
You only need one run, so all these Wingate players trying to be the hero for their squad.
The 2-2. Called strike three. Beautiful job from Macphail. Struck him out looking, and the side is retired for Wingate. Bottom of the ninth coming up. Well, let's see who wants to be the hero for Belmont Abbey as we're tied up at 4. Due up for the Crusaders, it will be 9-1 and 2. That'll be A.J. Hendricks. Back to the top of the order for Matt McGarry and Nick Beinlich. Due up for the Crusaders as they look to try and win it in 9 here in Game 1 of the Southeast region on the North Greenville Sports Network. Bottom of the ninth, due up, and Belmont Abbey, last chance to win it in regulation. A.J. Hendricks digs in. He's gone 0 for 3 today. 2 groundouts and a flyout for him. And Alex Rodriguez will try and keep things level as we go to extras. And a big home run swing there from Hendricks. Strike one comes of it.
And exactly what Belmont Abbey was doing to Wingate. They're getting a taste of their own medicine, just throwing inside on these home run swings.
0-1. Strike two. Now the 0-2 from Rodriguez, missing outside, ball one. One, two. At the knees, ball two.
Just a bit outside.
Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. One away here in the bottom of the ninth. Back to the top of the order for Matt McGarry. It's 1 for 4 today. Doubled his last time up in the 7th. Came around to score as McGarry batting .351 for Belmont Abbey. No home runs on the season for him. And he'll take strike one. And strike two. Now Rodriguez ahead in the count, the 0-2. And again, ball one on the third pitch. One, two. Lined hard into left. That is a fair ball. That one will drop. And McGarry trying to go for two.
Wisely goes back.
Yeah, scrambling back to first. And he is aboard here with one out. Small ball wins games too. And here is Nick Beinlicht. Next up for Belmont Abbey. 2 for 3 today. Has walked, struck out, and his last 2 at bats singles.
And a single right here could really prove very beneficial for the Belmont Abbey Crusaders, and there's going to be a mound visit up to Alex Rodriguez, it looks like.
No look over to the bullpen, though. There is one up and warming. Speaking of warming, it's been muggy pretty much all day, and it's getting warmer. The sun's even out. I thought it was supposed to be raining all day.
I still wouldn't try our luck here. A lot of storms pushing through Florida and up through the East Coast.
Calling it the tropical wave.
Yeah, that's what May and the beginning of end of spring, beginning of summer are going to do.
Oh, yeah, I know. We get hurricane season starting.
Yeah, hurricane season's on its way.
And now 2 are up in the Wingate bullpen, so no call yet, but one might be coming up very quickly. 1 on, 1 out here for Belmont Abbey. Rodriguez ready to offer. Downstairs, ball 1. Now the 1-0. Popped up first base side. This one looks playable. And just out past the first baseman's glove. That'll fall to the turf. Strike 1 for Beinlicht. And lucky to get away with one there as Little trying to make a nice over-the-shoulder catch. End result is a 1-1 count against Beinlicht. There's 1-1. 2-1. Ball 2 missing downstairs. The 2-2 or the 2-1 is a pickoff over to first to keep McGarry back. With big threat to steal. Got on base earlier. He's 9 for 10. Does not have a stolen base yet today, though. There's ball 3 missing. Three balls, 1 strike. And 1 away. Here's the offering. A little check swing right back to the pitcher. Gets away from him. He'll still flip it to first and at least get Beinlicht.
Just like the last inning, check swing ends up in fair play. Now 2 outs.
That is McGarry in scoring position now. So 1 swing, and if it gets through and goes deep enough from Colin Rosenbaum, this could be ball game. Rosenbaum, though, it has been a struggle for him today. 0 for 4.
But no benefit of a sac fly or anything, so going to have to do this the old-fashioned way.
2 outs, no room for error. McGarry, a big lead at second. Throw the plate. Strike 1. Next pitch, strike 2. Well, a strike away from extras. And now the 0-2. Missing outside, ball 1. Now the 1-2. Hit well into left field. Coming on as a left fielder makes the grab.
And Wingate staying alive. Nice diving play to end regulation, but got some free baseball here.
Man, oh man, that was a dangerous play. That would have been it if that one would more than likely would have gotten by the Bulldog left fielder. And the hero of the day is Bryant out there in left. So Jed Bryant keeps things level. And we'll head to the top of the 10th. Tied up at 4 here in game 1. Due up for Wingate as we continue trudging on. McCann, Mellett, Tyler Schneider, Bradley Brown. That's 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Bulldogs. When we come back, all knotted up here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Well, going to need extras here in game 1 to decide a winner between Wingate and Belmont Abbey. We are underway in the top of the 10th. Ball 1 issued to number 9, Mellett. Mellett today, 2 for 3 and a walk. Next pitch, there's a called strike. I believe it's a 2-1 count. Scoreboard not posting up one pitch. And popped up, fouled away. That'll be strike 2. One, 2. Called strike 3. It may be hot outside, but the pitcher's sure freezing a lot of batters. That's 1 away.
cold-blooded, too.
Next up will be the third baseman. And this will be Tyler Schneider, who is 2 for 3 today, a double and a single, reached on a fielder's choice. And he'll take ball one. And there's strike one. Now way up high, ball two. That was a 2-1. Lined well into left. Going back as a left fielder. And making a grab just before the warning track. 2 away. This will bring up the DH Brown, who is 0 for 3 today. Flown out twice, struck out swinging, and only time on base reached on an intentional walk. A quick mound visit there around Macphail. And here we go. Brown steps in. And ball one low and away. And big swing inside. No contact. Strike one. Sure, coach has got to be pulling their hair out here if they have any extras in the first game of the regional. Not sure if I don't think that's what you'd want, as there goes strike two.
We all knew this was going to be a tough regional coming in. All 7 of these teams knew they were pretty evenly matched against one another.
Brown behind 1 and 2 fouls it off.
So if you're Lincoln Memorial or Georgia College, especially the two that are sitting here waiting for their chance to play, this is pretty intriguing for two teams that more than likely you guys are gonna have to face one, if not both of them during this regional, and they're out here slugging it out to begin tournament play.
2 at-large bids here in Game 1 between Belmont, Abbey, and Wingate, and then 2 conference champions coming up. Ball 2 missing in the turf to Brown. We got the Peach Belt Conference champion, that's Georgia College, and then the South Atlantic Conference champion, the tournament champion, that is Lincoln Memorial. Ball 3 high and outside. I believe it was earlier mentioned that Wingate, they finished second in the South Atlantic and a 17-10 conference record. Over to first on this swing. First baseman waves off the pitcher, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 10th for Wingate. And Belmont Abbey, pressure back on them in the bottom of the 10th. Will have a chance to walk this one off in 10. Due up for the Crusaders, probably be the part of the order that they want the most. The heart of their order, Curiton, Yoder, and Ginther. That's 4, 5, and 6. When we come back, tied at 4 here in the Southeast Regional on the North Greenville Sports Network. And this is the bottom of the 10th in the Southeast Regional. Wingate and Belmont Abbey tied at 4. See if Belmont Abbey can win it here in the bottom half of the frame. And Rodriguez fires strike one into Curiton. And now the 0-1. Missing downstairs, 1-1. Curiton also posting up a .351 batting average. And hangs off ball 2.
And now Rodriguez starting to get up there. Higher numbers for relievers, sitting 42 pitches in a relief effort.
And ball 3. And the Wingate crowd starting to protest.
Yeah. And you'll hear it time and time again in matchups.
Lifted high to straightaway center, going back and gone.
We're done.
That's a ball game as Luke Curiton sends it to straightaway center. That's about as deep in this park as you can get. And Belmont Abbey walks it off in 10. They will win game 1 here, the Southeast Regional, 5-4.
And how about that for some excitement to get us kicked off?
Final score here in game 1. Belmont Abbey wins it 5-4. Walk-off home run from Luke Curiton in the bottom of the 10th. Seals the deal. And so Belmont Abbey will advance on, and they will take on the winner of the next game coming up between Georgia College and Lincoln Memorial. Wingate will drop to the losers bracket.
And we'll face the loser of this next matchup.
Yeah, the next game. So again, either Georgia College or Lincoln Memorial. So that is quite a way to start off the Southeast Regional, as both teams, nobody scored more than 2 runs in an inning, as we'll break down the line score here for you. Belmont Abbey struck first in the bottom of the 2nd, plating a run. Wingate answered in the top of the 3rd. They're tied at 1 for a couple of innings until the 6th inning when Wingate scored 2. Belmont Abbey answered in the bottom half of the frame by scoring 2. Belmont Abbey would jump out ahead in the bottom of the 7th, scoring 1. Wingate answered in the top of the 8th. We'd stay deadlocked through the 9th as Belmont Abbey left to go-ahead run 90 feet away in the bottom half of the frame. So we stayed deadlocked through the 9th until the 10th when Luke Curiton just sent that bomb over the center field fence to seal the deal for Belmont Abbey 5-4.
Yeah, and if you're going to pick a player of the game, it's really not that hard.
And it's not. That coming up in just a moment, as here's a visitor box score for you. Ty Andrus goes 1 for 5. McCann Millett 2 for 4. Tyler Schneider goes 2 for 5. McCann Goodwin 1 for 4. Trent Wynn 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs for Wingate. And nobody else recording a hit for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Little Bright and Branton combined 0 for 12.
Alex Rodriguez will pick up the loss. He'll fall to 6-1. As we go over to the Belmont Abbey side of things, Matt McGarry goes 2 for 5 with a run scored. Nick Beinlich 2 for 4 with an RBI. Luke Curiton 2 for 5, 2 runs scored and an RBI for him. Thomas Yoder 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Josh Gintha 1 for 3 with an RBI. Kevin Elefante 2 for 4 with an RBI for him. Jacob Rowley goes 1 for 4. And Parker Macphail will pick up the win. He'll improve to 6-1, and now can go ahead and name your Moses Greer player of the game here for game 1 of the Southeast Regional.
And is it any really question? Luke Curiton sends this blast off to center field to put Belmont Abbey on the winner's side of the bracket and the first team to punch themselves to the good side of day 2.
And so Wingate will fall to the losers bracket. And the interesting thing out of the second game coming up, if Lincoln Memorial falls to Georgia College, you're going to be playing a conference opponent in Lincoln Memorial and a team you've seen before.
And a team that's seen you before.
Mm-hmm. So no secrets to hide there. And, of course, Georgia College, I believe they're out of Milledgeville, Georgia. That's not too terribly far away out of the Peach Belt. So,
and Georgia College coming into this tournament knocked off North Greenville, one of their only 8 losses.
the second game of the season.
7-0 loss. One of, what was it, only 2 teams to shut out North Greenville all season long?
And so the second game coming up next is your Moser Grid player of the game here for game 1, Luke Curiton, going 2 for 5 with an RBI and 2 runs scored, including the walk-off home run to win it for Belmont Abbey. And that will conclude game 1. We appreciate you sticking with us through the first half of the game as I worked out the technical bugs, but since then the sun's come out and everything's been humming smoothly so far, and hope it stays that way. Game 2 will be coming up. It has a start time of 3 p.m. as it is 1:50 right now, so I believe we're going to stay on track for that. So we'll be back for game 2, the 2-seed Georgia College Bobcats and the number 7 seed Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters coming up next in game 2 of the Southeast region. Again, your final score here in game 1, Belmont Abbey moves on. Wingate falls to the loser's bracket, and Belmont Abbey wins it here 5-4. We'll be right back for game 2 on the North Greenville Sports Network.